Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I'm kind of trying something new today. Live on YouTube. Yeah, we live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time using two different devices. Not sure how well this is going to stream. I'm just giving this a try, and yeah, if people like it, I'll use this system more often. If not, I'll stick to one channel. So the topic that I want to discuss today for this live stream is the issue of whether we should be avoiding controversies or discussing controversial issues or not. And that's kind of it's something that's been on my mind for a while. A lot of people ask me about this. I get two sides, right? I get one side, people telling me that you must talk about these topics, and if you don't talk about these topics, then you are concealing knowledge and you're committing a sin. On the other side, I have people telling me things like you cannot talk about these topics, you're creating controversy for yourself, and you're making life unnecessarily difficult for yourself. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this as well. I just don't want this to be a one-side monologue. If you can post in the comment section, what do you think? Controversial topics, should we be discussing them or not? Should we be just leaving them to other people, or should we be bringing them up? And by controversial topics, I refer to two or three different things. Number one, uh, things that are controversial to non-Muslims, right? So topics like slavery in Islam, polygamy, women's rights, these kinds of issues, homosexuality, things that are controversial amongst Muslims. That's the second type. So things that are controversial amongst Muslims would be like, well, the differences between Asharis and Salafis, fiqh issues, controversial fiqh issues like music and things like that. Um, and the third thing I mean by controversial issues are the fights that Muslims are having with each other online. We've seen this a bit too much as of late. I think since people went into lockdown, they're getting bored, and so they're fighting with each other online more. That's my theory anyway. Right? I'm seeing way too much of that. So this is my current approach. When it comes to things that are controversial to non-Muslims, I feel we need to discuss these issues. We need to be frank about these issues. When doing dawah, we should never lie. We should never hide the truth. We should preach Islam as it is, without sugarcoating it. Because if somebody accepts Islam, they should accept Islam as it is, not as they imagine it to be. Right? It shouldn't be a fake or imaginary Islam. It should be the real Islam that they are going into. So with that in mind, I think when it comes to controversial issues in the dawah, we should be frank and open about what Islam really teaches on these issues, and that's something that I've always done. The second type, which is issues that are controversial to amongst the Muslims. Now, here I myself am split on whether we should discuss these issues or not. And again, I want your opinions. Post your opinions in the comment section. Should we be talking about these things publicly? Right? We've seen recently a lot of fights and arguments from Muslims online on many controversial issues. Like the issue of the different sects and the different schools of Aqidah and fiqh issues. People are fighting with each other over these things. And what's your view? Should we be discussing these things online, or should we be really just reserving these for classrooms or academic settings? I'd like to know your guys' opinions on that. The third point, Muslims fighting with each other. Should we get involved? Here, my position is clear. We should not. This is a waste of time, a waste of resources. Our time and resources are much better spent in teaching the religion and practicing the religion and doing good deeds. All of that is much, much more important than these dramas that we have online. Really, we waste so much of our time and energy in these dramas. Unless it's something really important where someone's being slandered and their honor and dignity is, being put on the line, then maybe we should step in to defend them. But in general, all these back and forth between Muslims, I don't think we should waste our time too much with it. We have more important things to do with our lives. So yeah, that's my thoughts on controversies of three types. Sometimes it's necessary to get involved in controversial topics. It is necessary to clarify Islam's position on things like homosexuality and polygamy and hijab and slavery, even if the position we arrive at is controversial. We still have to clarify it. We still have to be clear and open about it. So when people convert to Islam, they know exactly what they're converting to, and it's not a fake Islam, right? It's the real deal that they're getting into. As far as controversies between Muslims, time and place. That's really what it comes down to. The right time, the right place. There are times when it's necessary to discuss these topics, and there are times when people are clearly just doing it for entertainment value. And this for me has become a major problem in our times. I don't know how many of you would agree with this, but I really think one of the major problems with the online dawah today, particularly on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, is that people seem more interested in gathering subscribers and followers through saying something controversial than on actually speaking the truth and sincerely doing dawah. So instead of focusing on calling to Allah and preaching the truth and calling people towards Islam, people are more focused on calling towards their subscriber count and their followers by making outlandish, controversial statements, by behaving controversially, by memeing themselves and others. This is very, very problematic behavior for Muslims. So, this is something that's been on my mind, and I think we really need to discuss it. Anyone here watching this who is a young student of knowledge just getting involved in dawah for the first time, understand that this modern culture of being controversial on Facebook and Twitter all the time, this is not the way of Muslims for the most of our history. For the most of our history, Muslims have instead been focusing on calling to Allah and worshipping Allah and practicing the religion. This idea of just being controversial for controversy's sake so that more people subscribe and more people watch, because let's face it, if I was being controversial right now, if I was saying something controversial or behaving in a controversial way, a lot more people would be watching this, right? And that's very tempting for a lot of people today. A lot of people are just so adamant about getting a lot of subscribers that they will say controversial things or behaving in a controversial manner just for that, even if they don't really believe in it themselves. So this is very dangerous behavior for a student of knowledge. At the end of the day, whatever we do should be for Allah. It should be for the sake of the ummah, for the benefit of the ummah. Anything that does not accomplish this, we should abandon it. We should leave it. It is not important and it is not beneficial. So those are my thoughts on this topic. If anyone has any comments to add, please post it in the comments section. While you guys are here, a reminder, my latest book on Umar bin Abdul Aziz, it's available on Amazon and Gumroad. Please check out the links on my page. I really would appreciate if more people left a review for the book. Alhamdulillah, a lot of people have purchased the book. We need more reviews to convince others that the book is worth reading. Thank you again to all of you who have purchased the book. And thank you for watching this. Again, leave your comments. Let me know, what do you think about controversies? Should we be discussing them or not? I look forward to reading your comments on this. Jazakallah khairan wa akhir dawana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.